Coming up on Mountain News this morning, electric vehicle owners should be on the lookout as new fees begin to hit drivers next year.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. We're at 6:30 this Thursday morning and today is December 12th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Megan, I said earlier, it feels like December now, but not as December-y as last week in December.
Yeah, last week was something else. We had those cold temperatures all week long, but you won't be seeing that cold of temperatures today because our feels like are only in the upper teens, whereas we saw the single digits last week. But let's take a look at the satellite and radar this morning. Won't see any more snow or rain as you're going through the day, and that is some good news. And then the bad news, of course, those temperatures are on the colder side. Here are the colder temperatures across the region. We're looking in the 20s, 27 degrees here in Hazard, Pikeville, and Harlan, and 26 in Manchester, and a little bit cooler as you're traveling towards Virginia, 23 in Jonesville and in Wise. And we'll be warming up slightly to those forecast highs in the upper 30s and low 40s, with Jacksboro, the big winner here, 43 degrees as their high and 35 in Wise. And we'll watch that temperature trend throughout the day as we are warming up into the upper 30s and low 40s around that 3 o'clock hour. And we'll have those sunny skies alongside of it, so hopefully it won't feel too bad as you're heading out into your afternoon. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. In Morgan County, an Illinois woman was indicted on human trafficking charges. Elena Sparenberg was indicted on charges of conspiracy to human trafficking, solicitation of murder, solicitation of sexual abuse, and distribution of obscene matter. 3 of the charges are considered felonies. Sparenberg is being held at the Rowan County Detention Center. A special judge and circuit court clerk has been appointed in the case where a former sheriff is charged with killing a district judge. Circuit Court Judge Christopher Coron will now step in to oversee the case regarding Mickey Steins versus the Commonwealth. Coron regularly serves the 8th Judicial Circuit, which includes Edmonson and Warren counties. Circuit County Clerk Courtney Shoemaker who serves the 47th Judicial Circuit in Boyle County, has also been appointed. 3 people are facing charges after leading police on a chase throughout 2 counties. The chase happened Tuesday night, starting on Highway 638 in Laurel County and the Hal Rogers Parkway. Police noticed a car going at a high rate of speed. Police chased the car down before it stopped on Highway 687 in Clay County. Michael Flannery, Andrew Hall, and Misty Vaughn were arrested and taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Overdose deaths in the U.S. fell nearly 17% this year. That's according to new numbers out by the Center for Disease Control. This marks the eighth month in a row deaths are down. In 2022, overdose deaths hit an all-time high with 108,000 recorded. White House Drug Control Policy Director Dr. Rahul Gupta credits the decline with a few factors. He says accessibility to Narcan is a driving force, along with crackdowns at the southern border.
We're detecting record amount of drugs and seizing them at the border. But we're also going after the finances and illegal profits of drug traffickers.
Dr. Gupta urges parents to talk to their kids about the dangers of taking unknown substances. He says drugs are more accessible than ever and can be bought online disguised as other prescriptions. Another one of President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks is set to go to Capitol Hill. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's choice to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, will meet with several senators in meetings next week. That's according to a source familiar with the plans. RFK Jr. is the latest of Trump's cabinet picks, looking to shore up support ahead of Senate confirmation hearings. On Wednesday, the House of Representatives passed a defensive policy bill, which includes a ban of gender-affirming care for some transgender children. It will now head to the Senate for a vote. The National Defense Authorization Act is considered must-pass legislation. It was the result of a bipartisan compromise, but it includes a provision to prevent the military's health program, TRICARE, from covering gender-affirming care for transgender children of service members. The beginning of a new year means some new laws go into effect for Kentuckians. Starting January 1st, ownership fees for electric vehicles will increase by 5%. Grayson Passmore has more on what EV owners should know before they head to the county clerk's office.
Some of us will be ringing in the new year. And new annual ownership fees for electric vehicles and motorcycles.
We were kind of getting by, for free before. So I kind of feel like now we're paying our fair share. And, we're now, kind of part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
In 2023, Kentucky legislators added an EV ownership fee to ensure road construction and maintenance costs were shared fairly between electric vehicle and gas vehicle drivers. This year, the new fees will be $126 for EVs and $126 for plug-in hybrid EVs, $63 for electric motorcycles, and now $0 for hybrid vehicles. Mike Proctor with Evolve Kentucky says they fought to have the new fees removed for hybrid owners.
The Prius drivers, why they wanted to tax those folks, at a rate of $60, when they're, they're getting 50 miles per gallon, so they're paying a pretty decent amount of money into the road tax fund.
Proctor says the one issue his organization still has is there's a tax on using the chargers on state highways. In 2022, the state added a dealer tax of 3% per kilowatt hour of electricity.
With me, I charge 95% of the time at home, so it's not an issue. But for folks that are in apartment complexes and whatnot that don't have a charger at home, they're being hit twice.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
The EV ownership fee will be included on the vehicle renewal notice and integrated with KVIS. Owners will pay with their normal registration renewal. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Rural Development State Director will be in Letcher County on Friday. Director Tom Carew will present more than $9.5 million in grants for repairs to water systems in the Fleming-Neon area. Neon will receive $5.4 million for water line improvements and $1.7 million for lift station rehabilitation. Letcher County Water and Sewer will receive $2.5 million to help with meter replacements. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says construction is progressing on the Fishing Creek Bridge in Pulaski County. The work began in October and crews have removed more than 60% of the existing bridge deck. Crews are working on beam repairs as part of the $7.1 million project to prolong the bridge's lifespan. The project is on schedule to be finished by mid-April of 2025. The holidays are often filled with get-togethers, and catching up with loved ones can sometimes mean catching colds. Medical Director and infectious disease physician Nicholas Von Sickles' goal is to spread holiday cheer for the season, not illnesses. According to data from UK, this week they reported in their hospitals 11 COVID cases, 3 flu cases, and taking the lead was 22 cases of RSV. While the data can be jarring, it is expected colder weather can also contribute to illnesses.
We typically stay indoors more, we crowd more, and therefore illnesses have an easier time spreading.
He says the solution can be as easy as cracking a window for some airflow, wearing a mask, or skipping out. Van Sickles says his best tip for avoiding a wrench in your holiday festivities: getting vaccinated. Each year, Neiman's Christmas Tree Farm in Lexington sells around 1,000 Fraser firs. It is the only farm in Kentucky that grows Fraser firs. The farm started when Tom Neiman's grandmother immigrated to the U.S. from Germany and started a landscape and architecture business. In 1978, Tom narrowed his focus to Christmas trees. He tells us he gets his seedlings from Seattle and microorganisms to help the roots get the nutrients they need to grow.
To me, it's not a job, okay? If it were a job, I wouldn't do it. To me, it's very personal. If I can make somebody happy, their life better, gosh, that makes me happy. See, and that's what it's for.
People began tagging trees they wanted from Neiman's farm around Labor Day, and the farm sold out by this year's trees by Thanksgiving.
As you're heading on to the road this morning, fog is not something that you're really going to have to worry about. We're looking at quite nice visibility for today, and you're not going to have to worry about rain or snow as we are clear on that front for today. We had just a little bit of clouds this morning, but they have since then tapered off, and we're going to be mostly sunny through most of your Thursday. Now, one thing you will have to worry about is warming up your car before you head out because it is quite cold. 27 degrees is the temperature here in Hazard, with the feels like in the upper teens, 19 degrees. And as you're heading off to the bus stop this morning, those temperatures again quite cold. 28 by the time you're heading to school with a cooler feels like, and by the time you're heading home, sunny skies and a high temperature in the upper 30s and low 40s. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. And thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:40. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. The Franklin fire continues to terrorize the West Coast as firefighters prepare for the smoke to shift in a new direction.